Hey everybody, welcome back to Cheat 3. Today we have the solve video for our Stellar puzzle box. And if you remember, this box was built based on the concept of these mini puzzles. This will be a spoiler video, so if you would still like to build the puzzle, maybe do the full tutorial video before you watch this video. All right, let's get started on the solve. So the first step you want to do is remove the tile on top. That will be your tool. And then if you orient the box so that we have the C3 side, you'll notice several colors going around the rim of the box. Those will offer clues in terms of which colors will come next. And there are multiple of this medium azure and lime, and that's because it actually wraps around. It goes completely around once and then it kind of starts a second time. But the thing we want to start with first is this piece here, and you'll notice it slides back and forth. If we actually tip the box upside down, you can see that now that leaves a little space for our tool to go in and extend the medium azure tile on the other side. So that's kind of the spot I like to start, because these pieces are actually very similar to our mini Cancer puzzle. And there are two pieces that fit together, but that they can be separated. So the side we're seeing would be like here. That's this piece with the medium azure plate on there. But there is another piece behind it that we need to separate it from. So that's the next step. You can also notice that that has medium azure too on it, signaling that it's the first step. So the way this works, I'm actually going to take the puzzle apart. I think it's a little easier to see kind of the mechanics of everything. Okay, so this is the first step. You want to tip the box. I'm just going to take this one out right now. This piece goes right there, but when I'm tipping, I don't want it to fall constantly. So we got out this tile. And then we tip the box towards us so that we have on this side, I'm just gonna hold it in place, so that this one with the medium azure plate is all the way on the outside of the box. We don't want it in like that. So when we tip it, both of these pieces tip towards us. For this part, we want to find this hole here, put our tool in there, and now what we're able to do is use our tool to keep this piece extended but separate it from that piece. So now when I tip it, that piece falls, this one is still out, and now we can use our tool to push that coral tile and extend this piece here. And once that one is extended, that's like our Aquarius puzzle. So the trick on this one was that when we push this in, it extends that side, but everything is still blocked. And what we have to do is push this top tile over. And when we do, that separates the two pieces, and now all of those holes are exposed. So same concept here. We push this piece out, and then when we push it back, now this one is extended, but now that clears up a spot here in these two cavities. This one and that one are now free. So, oh, that was Aquarius's tool. So now that these are free, I can use my tool to push out this bottom one. That's the light bright orange. And then if I use my tool here and I push this, It works a lot better when it's got the roof structure on it, confining these pieces. But when I push that one, now I have that purple one that will extend. But this is like our Scorpio puzzle, because if I try this, it's still blocked by that yellow piece. So remember in Scorpio, for this one, here's the spot where we're trying to get our money. If I push these ones, it's still blocked. If I push it back, it's blocked again. And essentially we wanted to hold in this side while we push this one over, and that slides this tile. And that way when I press this one, now they both slide out of the way, clearing the path for the money. Same concept here. I'm holding the purple, pushing the lime tile, which pushes that yellow tile, and then when I push this one with the medium azure tile, gosh, that really doesn't want to go, but essentially what this does is it pushes this yellow one out of the way. And now this pathway here is free. So when I push this one, that extends this piece like that. And for this particular path, this is the opening right here. So now I'm going to replace that on there. And this is like our Pisces puzzle. So if you remember Pisces, it has this tile here, and we want to essentially line this up, shift that over, and then when we push this piece over, it's going to extend the money like that. Same concept here. And this is why I have the window, because it's a little difficult to see if this piece is moving over unless you can actually see it shifting. So we pushed out this piece here. Next, in order to push out this piece, what we're going to do is you can either just tilt the box, that will slide that out of the way. But then there's this hole here, and I put my tool in there, extend that piece, and now we have this spot where the tile can shift over. So what's happening is we tip the box, this shifts over, and this isn't showing here, but this actually looks like this. So now when we push this back in, it's going to move that magenta tile. So we push that in, we rotate this back down, and then if I try this pathway now, this is still blocked, so I'm going to push this one back in. Now that part of it is clear, but that magenta tile is still blocking. So I want to push this one back out of the way and extend that magenta tile piece so that now this pathway here is free. And this one has a piece like this with a tile, and now we can push this black tile out. When the black tile is pushed out, now this pathway is clear, and I'm going to pause right here to put the rest of the box on. We kind of did this base layer, and now we need the rest of this. So just a second. Okay, so we just pushed out this black tile. This spot here is free, and now we can extend this piece. And this part is very similar to our Libra puzzle, where we have the double push. So if you remember in this puzzle, this piece extends, this tile comes out just to hold everything in place, but this comes out 1 unit like this, and then you actually can extend it 1 more like that. In this one, you use the tile to extend it the 2nd unit, but in this puzzle here, you're just going to use your hand to extend it the 2nd time. So the tool pushed it out to here. We're trying for this spot here, right above that pink plate, but it's blocked by this pink tile. So what we want to do is just take this and extend it 1 more. And that opens up this slot here. So now that that is open, we use our tool to extend this piece. And once that is out, now we can use the concept from Sagittarius. And the concept of this one was that we can manipulate the top portion of the box. And that's what we have here. So once this part comes out, now we can slide this piece up and then this piece over. And once all of that is finished, then we can use our tool, insert it into the spot here, and light our box up for the win. The reset is pretty simple. You just want to take your tool out, push everything back in, and once we've pushed everything back in, there are 2 tiles that need to be pushed in further. So you want to find these round 1x1 plates. There's one here on the C3 side, and that's just to push our magenta tile back in 1 more unit. And then there's another one underneath this yellow plate here, and we want to push in that yellow tile 1 more time. And once you've done that, replace your tool, and it's ready to be solved again. Oh, I should mention also that our Aries puzzle was used for the winning button here for the light. It was spring-loaded. So hopefully you enjoyed our stellar puzzle. We tried to incorporate as many of the minis as we could. Some of the other ones were already used in our C3 puzzle, like Taurus and Gemini, so we decided not to use those in this particular box. But I'm thinking about trying again with a completely different puzzle and using the same minis but in different configurations and calling it Deja Vu. Let me know what you think. There is one bit of troubleshooting that I want to tell you guys about. So if this is happening to your puzzle, say you do this step first and someone pushes this line piece out of the way. And then when you're separating these pieces, let's say you've got them separated and you've pushed this tile. Let's say when you push this, you have it like this, and then when you push, this one's connected here, when you push this back, let's say it jumps it. Let's see if I can get it to do it. It didn't do it, but sometimes what happens is this coral piece jumps that and it goes up. Like this. If you find your puzzle in this state here where this coral piece has jumped over top of this white tile, that is incorrect. This needs to be able, when this piece is on here, this needs to be down like this. If that's happening to you with this coral tile, what you want to do is you want to take this tile off and trim down the edges a little bit. That will give less resistance on this particular piece so that it slides cleaner. If it has too much resistance, it doesn't want to go back in. The other thing you can do is you can take this piece, and if you haven't already done so, you can glue it onto this tile, the gray tile. Just again, making sure you're not getting any glue over here on the line piece or over there on that white tile. If you've done those two things, glued this piece and shaved down the edges of that coral tile, you should be fine. And your puzzle shouldn't jump, or that coral piece won't jump up on top of this one.